Let us pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the office of leaders and county assemblies for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as the servants whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our church. Amen. Honorable members, I'd like to request the sergeant at arms to ring the bell for the first 5 minutes. Honorable members, the Deputy Majority Whip, can you please confirm if we have quorum?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We have quorum.
Okay, Clerk, can you please take us through the order paper for the day?
Thank you, Madam Speaker and honorable members. Supplementary order paper number 306B of Thursday, 29th May 2025 at 2:30 p.m. Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Honorable members, you are hereby reminded that after this session, you're kindly requested to stay behind for Kamkunji. That was a request from the Speaker. Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Honorable members, I'm in communication from the chair of from the chairperson of Infrastructure, Energy and Public Works that he's away on official duty and he will allow one of the members to lay the paper. Yes, Honorable Kelvin Oraro, I can see you on your feet.
I was given the authority or delegated by our able chair, Honorable Ruben Rakwach, to lay this paper. And I want to read first one to provision of Standing Order number 182, paragraph 6. I wish to table today, Thursday, 29th May 2025, report of the Infrastructure, Energy and Public Works Committee on the matter of the non-functional streetlights and floodlights in Ahero ward and the county as a whole.
Honorable members, I'd like to confirm receipt of the report on the matter of the non-functional streetlights and floodlights in Ahero ward and the county as a whole by the Committee on Infrastructure, Energy and Public Works. And I'd like to commit this to the House Business Committee for scheduling. Next order, Clerk.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Yes, Honorable Kelvin Orara.
Madam Speaker, under the same, arise. First one to provision of order number 45 of our standing order. This House adopts the report of the Infrastructure, Energy and Public Works Committee on the matter of non-functional streetlights and floodlights in Ahero ward and the county as a whole.
Next order, Clerk.
Order number 7, statements.
Honorable members, it's statement time. Next order, Clerk.
Commencement of business. Order number 8, adoption of the report of the Implementation Committee on the implementation status of House resolutions on the report of the PICPAC Committee on its consideration of the Auditor General's report on the financial statements of Lumumba Level 4 Hospital for the year ended 30th June 2022 by Honorable James Omolo.
Honorable members, I also have communication from the chair that he's also away on official duty and Any member from the committee of implementation is allowed to move the motion. Yes, Honorable Geoffrey Warindo.
Thank you, Madam. I'll move the motion on behalf of the implementation committee chair, who is on away on official duty. And the Honorable House members will allow me to use the moving notes. We have the comprehensive report is in our wall, so you can find the time to go through it as I go with the moving notes. On the 15th May 2024, Madam Speaker, this Honorable House adopted the report of the Select Committee on Public Accounts and Investment on the matter of the examination of the Auditor's General Report on the financial statements of Lumumba Hostel for the year ended 30th June 2023. This Honorable House had, pursuant to the said report, made resolutions adopting the recommendations made by the committee therein. Consequently, in accordance with Article 185 of the Constitution, Section 8 and Section 9 of the County Governments Act 2012, read together with Standing Orders number 191, the resolutions made by this Honorable House stood committed to the Select Committee on Implementation to scrutinize, inquire into, investigate, and report on the implementation status of the resolution of the House on the matter of the report on the examination of the Auditor's General Report of the financial statement of Lumumba Hostel for the year ended 30th June 2022. Madam Speaker, accordingly, the committee convened a meeting on 2nd September 2024, where it resolved to initiate the inquiry into the status of implementation of the resolution of this House made on the 15th May 2024 as per the requirement of the standing orders. You can see Annex 1, a copy of the minutes. Pursuant to the standing order number 184 of the County Assembly Standing Orders and Article 153(4)(b) of the Constitution, the committee on 23rd September 2024 received a response from the management of Lumumba Sub-County Hospital through the Department of Medical Services, Public Health and Sanitation on the matter of implementation of the County Assembly resolution on the Auditor's General Report on the financial statement of Lumumba Level 4 Hospital for the year ended 30th June 2022. Madam Speaker, the response from the management of Lumumba Sub-County Hospital was procedurally tabled before the committee on Monday, 7th October 2024, where it scrutinized the report, the responses received, and resolved to do a comprehensive report for further consideration and adoption by this Honorable House. This report, therefore, is a compilation of the findings and observations made by the committee in regards to the responses by the committee in regards to the implementation status of the House resolutions of the report of the Committee on Public Accounts and Investment on examination of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Lumumba Level 4 Hospital for the year ended 30th June 2022. Madam Speaker, pursuant to provision of Standing Orders number 182, it's therefore my duty and privilege, and on behalf of the Committee on Implementation, to present to this Honorable House the report of the committee on its consideration of the implementation status of the House resolution on the report by the Committee on PICPAC on its examination of Auditor General Report on the financial statements for Lumumba Level 4 Hospital for the year ended 30th June 2022, and urge this Honorable House to adopt it. Madam Speaker and Honorable Members, the report of Public Accounts and Investment Committee at the following House resolutions. Number one, that going forward, the management must ensure that the financial statements reflect the true and fair position of the hospital as required by Section 164(3) of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 on financial reporting. Implementation status. The committee was informed as follows: that the management of the hospital was unable to balance the trial balance due to the errors of omission, commission, and original entry from the books of accounts. That Roman 2, that The issues were corrected and the right values imputed, and the trial balance is now balanced. The committee findings on that, during the time of audit, the trial balance used to prepare the financial statements of the hospital reflected a total debit and credit balance of 247,453,995 and 24,113,593 respectively. Therefore, did not balance. That the management of the hospital has rectified the errors of omission and commission from the books of accounts and the right values imputed. Resolution number 2 by the PICPA committee was that going forward, the management must comply with section 5A of the Kisumu County Health Facility Improvement Fund Act 2021. The implementation status, the committee was informed that the management has since made a request to the Chief Officer of Medical Services, Public Health and Sanitation for the authority to open Facility Improvement Fund. The committee finding, Madam Speaker and other members, the management of the hospital is yet to open Facility Improvement Fund account. Committee recommendation that the CC member for Medical Services, Public Health and Sanitation immediately facilitate the process of opening Facility Improvement Bank accounts for Lumumba Hospital and a report on the same be submitted to this assembly within 30 days. Issue number 3 was that going forward, the management of the hospital must adhere to the requirements of 164(1) of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 on the preparation of its financial statements. The implementation status, the committee was informed that, Roman 1, that since the management of the hospital had never prepared a financial statement before, it acknowledged and rectified the omission of dates, statements on corporate governance and performance objectives as captured in the Auditor's General Report, and commit to ensure the quality review of subsequent financial report comply with the reporting template issued by the Public Sector Accounting Standards. Issue number 4, that the County Executive Committee member for Finance, ICT and Economic Planning constitute a task force within 30 days upon adoption of this report to ascertain the accuracy and the value of the pending bill as at 30th June 2022. The implementation status, Madam Speaker and the honorable members, that the committee was informed that the management of the hospital had summarized all the payables of the hospital as at 30th June 2022, and this can be evidenced in Annex 4, a copy of the pending bill as at 30th June 2022. Issue number 5, that was recommendation number 5, that was raised by the PICPAC committee, was that the accounting officer, Department of Medical Services, Public Health and Sanitation, demonstrate to this assembly by way of a report corrective measures taken to adhere to the Kenya Quality Model for Health Policy Guidelines within 90 days upon adoption of this report. The implementation status, that the committee was informed that the matter that the matter of inadequate staffing was acknowledged and the staff establishment improved as per the attached staff establishment form. You can go through Annex 5 on facility health workforce. The committee findings on this, the committee noted that during the time of audit and the personnel requirements according to the Kenya Quality Model for Health Policy Guidelines was as follows: the staff cadre, medical officers, level 4 standard that is required, they're supposed to be 16. The number in the hospital, we only have 2. And as the physiologist, 2, level required is 2. The number in the hospital, the actual number in the hospital is 1. General surgeon, number required is 2. The actual number in the hospital, we have none. Gynecologist, 2. The actual number in the hospital is 1. Pediatric, we have 2. The actual in the hospital is 1. Then registered community health workers, the standard required number is 75. The actual that are in the hospital currently is 15. Following the responses received on the implementation of the recommendation in this regard, the committee made the following findings. That the management hired an additional 6 community health workers, bringing the total number to 21, and a deficit of 54 required community health workers. That the recommendation made in regards to employment of additional medical officers, anesthesiologists, general surgeons, gynecologists, and pediatrics had not been implemented at the time of tabling this report. The committee recommendation was that the Department of Medical Services, Public Health and Sanitation be provided with adequate budgetary allocations to enable employment of additional medical officers to the facility. Recommendation number 6 by the PICPAC committee was that the accounting officer, Department of Health, initiates the process of transferring the title deed from defunct Municipal Council of Kisumu to Lumumba Hospital, and a report of the same be submitted to this assembly within a period of 90 days. The implementation status, Madam Speaker and the honorable members, the committee was informed that the management of the hospital had written a letter to the chief officer, lands, housing, fiscal planning, and urban development, through the chief officer, medical services, public health, and sanitation, to help survey the hospital land to establish the exact boundary, and also help in acquisition of the title deed. That can be verified in Annex 6. The committee finding that the process of transferring the title deed from defunct municipality of Kisumu to Lumumba Hospital has not been done. The committee recommendation on this, that the CC member of the for medical services, public health and sanitation immediately engage the Department of Lands, Housing, Fiscal Planning, and Urban Development to expedite the process of transferring the title deed from defunct Municipal Council of Kisumu to Lumumba Hospital, and a progress report of the same be submitted to this assembly within a period of 30 days. The resolution number 7 by the PICPA committee on that report was that the accounting officer initiates with immediate effect evaluation of all land and buildings, and a report on the same be submitted to this assembly within a period of 90 days upon adoption of the report. The implementation status, Madam Speaker and the honorable members, that the evaluation of the hospital assets was jointly done by the national government, that is Ministry of Land, and County Government of Kisumu, and the supervision by Intergovernmental County Assets Valuation and Transfer Committee, and the report is yet to be received. The committee findings on that, the evaluation report of assets of the hospital is yet to be received from the Intergovernmental County Assets Valuation and Transfer Committee. The committee recommendation that the CC member for medical services, public health and sanitation immediately construct the evaluation report of assets of the hospital from the IGRTC, and a report on the same be submitted to this assembly within a period of 30 days upon adoption of this report. And lastly, resolution number 8 of the PICPA committee was that going forward, the management must adhere to Executive Order number 2 of 2018 and Regulation 49(2) of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Regulation 2020. The implementation status, the committee was informed that the Kisumu Facility Improvement Fund Act 2021 envisaged the management of finances as a fund, that the IFMIS system had not been rolled out to the health facilities during the audit period, that the management is in the process of establishing a financial management system in line with the new National Facility Improvement Fund Act 23. Committee observation: the hospital management is in the process of establishing an integrated financial management system, that is IFMIS, in line with the new National Facility Improvement Fund Act 2023. Committee recommendation that the CC member of Medical Services, Public Health and Sanitation to ensure that the hospital establishes a financial management system in line with the new National Facility Improvement Fund Act 2023, and a report on the same be submitted to this assembly within a period of 60 days upon adoption of this report. Summary of the committee observations, Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable members. The committee, having considered the responses from the management of Lumumba Level 4 Hospital, made the following observations. Number one, that the recommendations made in regards to employments of additional medical officers, general surgeons, gynecologists, and pediatrics had not been implemented at the time of tabling this report. Number two, that the management has hired an additional 6 community health workers, bringing the total number to 21 and a deficit of 54 required. Number three, that the management of the that the management of the hospital has rectified the errors of omissions and commissions from the books of accounts and the right values imputed. Number four, that the management of the hospital is yet to open facility improvement fund account, that the process of transferring the title deed from defined municipality of Kisumu to Lumumba Hospital has not been done. Number six, that the valuation report of assets of the hospital is yet to be received from the Intergovernmental County Assets Valuation and Transfer Committee. Then number seven, that the hospital management is in the process of establishing an integrated financial management system in line with the National Facility Improvement Fund Act. A summary of committee recommendations. The committee, having considered the implementation status of House resolutions on the Auditor's General Report on the financial statements of Lumumba Level 4 Hospital for the year ended 30th June 2022, made the following recommendations. The CC member for Medical Services, Public Health and Sanitation immediately engage the Department of Lands, Housing, Fiscal Planning and Urban Development to expedite the process of transferring the title deed from defunct Municipal Council of Kisumu to Lumumba Hospital, and a progress report on the same be submitted to this assembly within a period of 30 days. Number two, that the Department of Medical Services, Public Health and Sanitation be provided with adequate budgetary allocation to enable employment of additional medical officers, general surgeons, gynecologists, and pediatrics to the facility. That the CC member for Medical Services, Public Health and Sanitation immediately facilitate the process of opening facility improvement bank accounts for Lumumba Hospital, and a report on the same be submitted to this assembly within 30 days. That the CC member for Medical Services, Public Health and Sanitation to ensure that the hospital establishes a financial management system in line with the new National Facility Improvement Fund Act 2023, and a report on the same be submitted to this assembly within a period of 60 days upon adoption of this report. Lastly, that the CC member for Medical Services, Public Health and Sanitation immediately fast track the valuation report of assets of the hospital from the IGRTC, and a report on the same be submitted to this assembly within a period of 30 days upon adoption of this report. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, Madam Speaker and honorable members, It is now my honor and privilege on behalf of the Committee on Implementation to move this motion before this Honorable House for consideration and adoption. And I really want to urge the members that you ought to have gone through the major report, and you will see that most of the resolutions and recommendations that were made by the PICPA committee has been handled and tackled by the implementation committee. And I want to believe that the members are going to be very objective in debating this report of the implementation committee. And I will urge the House to adopt the report. And it's therefore my pleasure, Madam Speaker, to call Honorable James Were to second. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and honorable members.
Yes, Honorable James Were. Okay, honorable members, and now that the report by the Select Committee on Implementation on the report on implementation status of house resolutions, on the report of PICPAC Committee on its consideration of the Auditor General report, on the financial statements of Lumumba Level 4 Hospital for the year ended 30th of June 2022 has been presented, seconded, and as per standing orders, I want to propose a question, and I propose that this report is now open for debate. Yes, Honorable Rati Boyton of Nyalenda A Ward.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we are talking about implementation committee. The implementation committee worked upon a report that was given to them by PICPAC. And Madam Speaker, I'm waiting for you to finish that consultation. You cannot double task, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Ratib Boyton,
Yes, Madam Speaker.
all my ears are with you, and I'm allowed to consult because I need to make a decision after you finish talking.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I arise to oppose this debate, this motion, because the implementation committee that is giving us here a long story is not telling us whether they invited the CEC for lands, the CEC for medical services, and any other CEC to respond to what PICPAC had already tabled in this house and approved and approved by the members of this county assembly, Madam Speaker. What they are telling us here are stories. Matters pertaining to land transfers. They ought to have told us that they invited CEC for lands and questioned him on why transfers has not been done. But not telling us that we give another recommendation that transfers should be done. Up to when, Madam Speaker, are we going to go in circles like this? Matters that were highlighted by PICPAC on staffing. The implementation committee is still just giving almost the same recommendation that were given by the PICPAC. Instead of telling us that on a such a date, they invited the CEC for medical services and placed the requirement upon which the CEC ought to have done. What is it doing in terms of staffing this facility? But not coming here and telling us again that they are recommending more staff to be. Up to when, Madam Speaker? We cannot go on like this. The same with report of assets. Did they invite them? They did not. If we continue going like this, Madam Speaker, reports will go on in circles until our term in this assembly ends without being prudently active and doing something that the executive should do for the benefit of the people. Madam Speaker, this is not a report that should be supported in this assembly. Thank you so much.
Yes, Honorable Karen Odiambo. I've noticed you, Honorable Nyaoke and Honorable Obaso.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity. Madam Speaker, I was very keen when Honorable Waridu was doing his presentation. And at one point, I had to go back to check whether the report was from the implementation or PICPA committee. Madam Speaker, almost the same recommendations which were given by the PICPA committee are the ones they are presenting in this honorable house. They would have told us that as per the recommendation of the PICPA committee, we are at this stage. This and that has been done. So, Madam Speaker, they ought to have done more. I don't support this report. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Peter Obaso.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise to strongly support the report before this House. Madam Speaker, as per my opinion, the report is just fine. And secondly, you know how sometimes the county works. And everything has to be captured within the frames of budget. And I think the time frames that are given by the implementation committee on the implementation of those recommendations are just in order. So, Madam Speaker, I think the time given should be given some time, and the implementation committee go back and revisit those implementation and see if they have been implemented as per this report. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I support strongly.
Yes, Honorable Kelvin Oraro.
Madam Speaker, you consult too much. And I wanted you to listen to what you are saying. And Madam Speaker, it's not about your ears, but it's about your attention.
Honorable Kelvin Oraro, you know, I can't stop this session for me to consult, so kindly go ahead.
You know, I wanted your attention, not even your ears. Madam Speaker, let me proceed. Madam Speaker, there are two different committees in this. We have the PICPAC. The PICPAC gets most of the information from the Auditor General. After recommendation by the Auditor General, the PICPAC just put it in a position where it can be reported in the Assembly. Upon report to the Assembly, the Implementation Committee, as per the knowledge of members, was to ensure that they give us report of what is going on among the recommendation of various committees in this House. You cannot just copy-paste recommendation of PIC and PAC, and you also copy-paste it in Implementation Committee, and we assume that things are okay. As long as you bring a report in the Assembly, we'll just approve. The point in all this, Madam Speaker, is that the Implementation Committee is given a special task to make a follow-up and give the House a good and clear indication of something happening. But if you report the same report, then I don't know which committee again will come and check on the implementation status. And it means that this committee really need another benchmarking. They need to be taught what to do. And now, or not benchmarking, but another induction, so that they get the information right. We want to task this committee with serious recommendations from various committees, be it roads, be it other committees like water, and want them to follow up so that they give those CEC members or the concerned officers pressure to ensure that any available money under O&M can actually do some small activities that is supposed to be done. But by the look of things, we will not accept as members that a committee which we gave our hopes on, we put our hopes on, will just bring a copy-paste report, trying to sugarcoat the pick and pack report for the purposes of reporting to this assembly. I think that the chair of the move of the motion should kindly ask you, that is withdrawing the report, waiting for his chair to consult, and the clerk to give direction, so that this bring this report on another day, Madam Speaker. But by the look of the things, if these are the reports we are going to entertain in this honorable house, then I'm sure we are heading nowhere. So I'm kindly asking Honorable Warindu. Warindu, you have been in this house for more than 2.5 years now. If something is not working, just be man enough, withdraw your report, say there are things you never read well, and for that reason, the report can go and get some amendments with proper explanation, so that as a house we believe that they are actually doing something, and the executive should feel the strength of the committee of implementation. If that is not going to be felt, then even some of the things that we recommend in this house will just be taken as a joke. So that is my prayer, and I really oppose the report.
Yes, Honorable Tom Nyaoke of North Nyakachu Ward.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I'm possibly amazed by some the presentations which have been made by my fellow members who have just spoken to this report. Madam Speaker, I want to make it abundantly clear that in as much as my colleagues are saying that this is not a proper report, it may be because they have not read some parts of this report, Madam Speaker. And I'm able to demonstrate that. Madam Speaker, it is true that on 15th May 2024, this Honorable House adopted a report of the Select Committee on PICPAC, on public accounts and investment, on the matter of the examination of the Auditor General's report, on the financial statements of Lumumba Hospital for the year ended 30th June 2022. Madam Speaker, and according to Article 185 of the Constitution and Section 8 and 9 of the 2012 Act, Government Act, and the Standing Order number 191, the Implementation Committee is given the exact things that we are supposed to carry out, Madam Speaker. I'm talking as a member of the Implementation Committee. Madam Speaker, pursuant to the relevant sections of the law, we are given directives on what we are supposed to do. And Madam Speaker, part of it is to investigate, look upon the recommendations which were given by the PICPAC committee. Madam Speaker, and then, last but not least, is to provide the implementation status on those very recommendations from the PICPAC committee, Madam Speaker. That is exactly what we did. What we are reading here and what has been read by my colleague Honorable Warindu about this report is we are just given this house the implementation status in relation to that PICPAC report recommendations, Madam Speaker. We did engage as a committee as provided in the standing orders and the relevant sections of the law. The CECs from the relevant sections, Madam Speaker, departments, and this is the report that we came up with. If you look at the detail, forget about, because my colleague was reading it in a summary form, Madam Speaker. If you go to the details of the report, you will find proper reports in each and every step, touching on each and every recommendation that was given by the PICPAC committee. Madam Speaker, it may look the same to just ordinarily looking at the report. You may think it is the same as PICPAC report, but Madam Speaker, if you go to the details of this report, you will actually be able to identify the differences as been outlined by the report, Madam Speaker. I therefore prayed to my
Who do you want to inform, Honorable?
The House and Honorable Nyaoke.
Okay, go ahead.
Madam Speaker, I've heard from Honorable Nyaoke that the report was the audit report for 2022. That is the financial year for Lumumba. The report was read in 2024. That was last year. And the implementation you're talking about is the recommendation that was done last year in 2024 May. 1 year down the line, is very comfortable saying that all those things is just looking at status. Doesn't care if it is done, as long as he report. So I wanted him to talk, knowing that we are not doubting whatever they have written. Our concern as a house is not about whatever they have written. It is about what is the executive doing about the recommendation from the Auditor General, from the pick and pack approved by the Assembly, that is at the report, so that they can tell us that this thing that you recommended has not been done, or this is the position of the executive, and like the idea of trying to give us the progress report, which can be done by various committee of health. So, Honorable Nyaoke, just accept that this thing was not well taken, and that's for more time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to repeat that possibly my colleague Honorable Oraro has not taken time to actually comb this report. Maybe because he just arrived when we are starting the discussion about the report, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, why I talked about the status is that is one of the core mandate of the implementation committee, to give this House the implementation status of those particular reports, Madam Speaker. We have actually gone step by step as per the recommendations which were given by PICPAC at that time, Madam Speaker, and we are able to outline each and every step. And the report is here, Madam Speaker. If my colleague, Honorable Oraro, would want hard copy, maybe we can request for the provision of the hard copy. But all those items he's trying to talk about having been omitted in that report are in fact included and outlined step by step.
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Rati Boyton, you need to be up on your feet before you start talking.
Thank you, Madam.
Yes, go ahead.
Madam Speaker, I want to inform the House about what Honorable Kelvin Oraro has just mentioned, and the direction that Honorable Nyaoke is giving is misleading this House. Madam,
The member arose on a point of order, and by beginning his statement, he diverted now to informing the House. So which is which? Is he on a point of order, and what is it that is not in order? Or is he informing the House? It should be specific.
Member Honorable Ochele is naked. I think he's still swimming from River Wat, Madam Speaker.
Honorable, I'd like to request the Sergeant at Arms to confirm if Honorable Chele is actually naked. Sergeant, please confirm. Okay, Honorable Rati Boyton, continue. Although let it be on a point of information.
a point of information, Madam Speaker.
It's not your time to debate. Huh?
A point of information, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, as I was saying, that the mandate of implementation committee is to interrogate the status of the reports that have been approved in this House. Upon interrogation of those reports, if there is a question that they need to get more information on, or a matter that they need to get more information on, they need to invite the relevant authorities to get the correct information. Not doing what they have done by giving the same recommendation that had been given by PICPAC? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Tom Nyauke, continue, and I hope you're informed.
Chair, the information Honorable Ratib Boyton is in fact misleading to some extent, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, he's informing us like he is one of the members of the implementation committee. I've just said here, Madam Speaker, that this report is self-explanatory. There is no any ambiguity in this particular report, Madam Speaker. And that's why I simply invite my fellow colleagues to read it into details, and they will be able to see that in fact what they are saying we did not do is exactly what we did, and that is why we have come with this particular report.
Point of information, Madam Speaker.
Yeah, yes, Honorable Nerea.
Madam Speaker, allow me refer the House to Standing Order number 191, which talks on the mandate of Implementation Committee. And Madam Speaker, I want the members of the Implementation Committee trying to defend this report, the recommendations of this report, to keenly listen to the mandate as outlined in our standing orders. And allow me read, Madam Speaker, that there shall be a select committee to be known as the Committee on Implementation, comprising of the chairperson and not less than 8 or not more than 10 other members. The committee shall scrutinize the resolutions of the County Assembly, including adopted committee reports, petitions, and the undertakings given by the County Executive Committee, and examine A, whether or not such decisions and undertakings have been implemented, and whether and where implemented, the extent to which they have been implemented, and whether such implementations has taken place within minimum time necessary. And B, whether or not legislation passed by the County Assembly has been operationalized, and where operationalized, the extent to which such operationalization has taken place within minimum time frame. And 3, Madam Speaker, and lastly, the committee may propose the County Assembly to start assembly sanctions against any members of the County Executive Committee who fails to report to the relevant select committee on implementation status of projects and programs under his or her docket within justifiable reasons. Madam Speaker, we want to see this committee biting. This is a watchdog committee, and they should not do recommendations like any other committee. All committees, any other committees, depend on the implementation committee to actually have their resolutions or proposals implemented, and where they are not implemented, sanctions proposed by this committee. There is a common word used throughout this report, that going forward. Mr. Speaker, we all know in this House that going forward is a term mainly used by PICPAC committee. So this committee, Madam Speaker, is merely copy-pasting what PICPAC has done. And I hope, Madam Speaker, I don't want to debate. I was informing the House that they should look at their mandate as per our standing orders and give us recommendations in line with their mandate. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Nyauke, I hope you are aware your time limit also for debate is almost coming to an end.
Madam Speaker, but I hope you also take cognizance of the interruptions here on and on. But all the same, this point must get into my fellow members so that they are able to understand, Madam Speaker. Thank you for your indulgence. Madam Speaker, the DS has talked about very important section of the Standing Order 191. And it is true that sometimes we need to bite. But we also have to bite within the law, Madam Speaker. We don't just wake up and bite in any particular report that we find. But if we find that progress is going on, Madam Speaker, if there is nothing to bite, we don't just wake up to bite. We are also have to do that within the confines of the law, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, how I wish, because even some of the steps that have been taken, when we look at even particularly the personnel recruitment, Madam Speaker, we went through with them. And we saw actually what had been recommended by PICPAC committee. We saw at least they're taking some steps, Madam Speaker. We are all aware that even employing personnel cannot take one day, Madam Speaker. That is also some reasoning that we also have as members. We
Yes, Honorable Moses Ochele. I hope you're well dressed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, having gone through the report and bearing in mind that Honorable Nyauke, who is my friend and my MCA, happens to be a member of that committee called the Implementation Committee. And I'm finding Honorable Nyauke eloquently defending the motion and kind of is carrying the burden of the committee on his shoulder. Madam Speaker, going by the adoption sheet schedule, there are members who declined to append their signatures. When you decline to append your signature on a report that belongs to your committee, that means you are not in agreement. So it is a fact, Madam Speaker, that in the committee sittings, when this report was manufactured, Honorable Nyauke was in a disagreement. So coming here now to start debating, struggling to convince us, while he was convinced at that plenary sitting of the committee that the report is bad, I think it is completely out of order. It's completely out of order and it should not even be given time to debate. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Nyauke, you talk through the chair.
Chair, thank you.
You don't just get up and start talking. You wait for permission from the chair. Honorable Nyauke, please get up and debate.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, signing a document might have been, can be misconstrued to be having rejected the report. But Madam Speaker, I'm fully behind the report. I want to confirm it is only that the date of signing I was elsewhere in an official duty. Otherwise, if standing order would allow me to sign now, I can even still sign it, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I don't want to go any further on this issue, Madam Speaker, but I still pray that may my colleagues see the sense of this report. This status report is very important. I'm sure there is something that is going to, the biting is going to come here ahead, only if we fail to adopt this motion. But if you seriously want some biting to take place, I want to plead with my fellow colleagues that we adopt this motion and then you see how biting is going to happen in the near future. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I beg to support.
Yes, Honorable Samuel Dede.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I also rise to oppose this report, Madam Speaker. Going by the observation which has been read by Honorable Warindu, Honorable Warindu tells us that there were rectification on the errors. What can show us a proof that there were rectification on the report which was read by the PAC committee? Madam Speaker, we get that there were some issues pertaining the operationalization of the facility. And still the committee tells us that they've given time within 30 days upon the adoption of the report, which was adopted by the PICPAC, and it's when they are going to work on the Facility Finance Act, which was to be, is now operationalized, still telling us that in the coming 30 days upon the adoption of the report. When was the report adopted, and the 30 days since the report was brought on board? Madam Speaker, we are talking of getting the issue of land. Madam Speaker, we've seen that there was an invitation for the Department of Lands through the Department of Health. It was done on 10th July 2024. The invitation was done. Did they appear and they testify over that, the invitation they brought, Madam Speaker? They are telling us concerning the additional of 6 staff, Madam Speaker, and it's not stated well which department, which, when now the procedure was followed to get the 6 staffs, which made them draw out to 21. We are not aware of that, Madam Speaker. If we proceed with this, Madam Speaker, the recommendations which have been given by the PICPAC are just the replication of what which were given by the PICPAC committees, then we given back by the implementation committee, Madam Speaker. If we go with this status, we see that we are just going to duplicate our duties, and each and every committee has got a role to do in this house, Madam Speaker. By proceeding with this motion, it would have been prudent that Honorable Nyaoke, who is also a member of the committee, would have signed and be part of the report which is being read today. And I hope that's why Honorable Warindu saw it nice to appoint someone who was not a member of the committee to second the report, Madam Speaker. We found that Honorable Were is seconded, even though it was a report for the House right now, but the Honorable member who was a member of the committee, who distanced himself from the report, was now debating, supporting the report, Madam Speaker. With those, Madam Speaker, you see that giving a report, being the report was for the House now, Madam Speaker, the time span at which the report was brought to the Assembly, it was too late, and even if you had to respond it, even though it was the report of the House, but it has been circulated to the members very late, Madam Speaker, 13, 16 hours, which had been ought to be done earlier in the 12 or 24 hours before the report is being brought to us. Being that I'm not a member of the committee, it's now when I'm seeing the report, and it was the report of the House being brought an hour to the debating time, Madam Speaker. So I distance myself from this report, and if given time, they would have requested to go and fine-tune over the report which has been brought today, and if it is so in this manner, Madam Speaker, I oppose the report. Thank you.
Honorable members, I'd like to inform the House that it was a ruling that was passed in this House that once a document has been tabled, then it becomes a document of the House, and any member is allowed to second. Honorable Dede, I hope you're informed on that.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the information. Is that why I've said it has been given to a member
Honorable Dede, I asked you if you're informed on that point. Are you informed?
Madam Speaker, I'm informed, but I need more clarification on the information. Thank you.
I think you need to go back to the sessions that that was passed. Thank you. Yes, Honorable Moses Ochele.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, Committee of Implementation is the ultimate committee that does the final cleanup of the messes committed by all the other committees. And therefore, in my own understanding, the working committee, the implementation committee, should be the working committee which should be showing us the progress of actual activity which the sectoral committee or select committee failed to do. And more so to ensure that all the recommendations on the reports and motions from this House are effected. Therefore, Madam Speaker, it is in my understanding that a report brought by implementation committee should be as effective as a practical action. Madam Speaker, it is amusing to note that Chair, though absent, is a member of PICPAC committee. The mover, who is Honorable Warindu, is a diehard supporter of PICPAC because he was just removed there the other day. And Madam Speaker, I believe that all members are always live to the ruling of the chair. Mr. Speaker said that even if you didn't send the report, you have room to second. But because this is a pick-pack affair, Honorable deemed it fit to appoint Honorable Joseph Were, who is also a pick-pack member. So the report before us has been brought by pick-pack team and being defended heavily by a new entrant in the pick-pack committee in the name of Honorable Nyaoke. And that is why you can't disabuse the recommendation of the implementation committee from that of the pick-pack, because the membership is the same and they have the same mentality.
Honorable Nyaoke, I can see you on your feet. On what point of order are you standing?
So far, Madam Speaker, to inform my fellow senior, that I'm not a member of pick-pack committee, as he is trying to allude, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable.
Madam Speaker, last time I had a phone call conversation with Honorable Nyaoke. He was in Nairobi attending a meeting of pick-pack committee. Then is a permanent friend, like Honorable Sami is a permanent friend of budget committee. Then Honorable Nyaoke, last week you were in Nairobi attending pick-pack committee. So both you, Honorable Warindu, the chair of the committee, Honorable Were, are pick-pack. So seeing the report of pick-pack being replicated, it is a mindset. That is the direction you are heading this committee to. And my request is that this one should be shut down. But going forward, Madam Speaker, I think this committee should go back to their mandate as read by the very able member for Manyata B, who is also the Deputy Speaker. Get serious on the order, on the standing order, get clear mandate, and then bring us a report, not duplicate from other committees. Tell us the actual position of status on the reports we table in this house. Otherwise, Madam Speaker, I want to say that the chair has started on a very wrong note. And some quarters, these members who are defending this report were rumoring that the then chair could not perform. So this is a better report than the ones I used to hear from this assembly. Even this one is even worse. So I'm wondering, why did you replace a very able lady with a member of pick-pack who cannot even bring his first report to this house? The very first, the maiden report, is not there. And he's not out on official duty. I think this is taking things as for a ride. We are taking the house for a ride. Therefore, Madam Speaker, personally, I oppose the report and let the chair learn these lessons. If he doesn't learn, then members of the selection committee should revert and bring Honorable Henrietta back to her seat. Thank you.
Order, honorable members, order. Honorable members, we are still on the debate on the report. Yes, Honorable Nerea Kombo.
Madam Speaker, I'm trying to look at the mood of this house. And if you allow me to state the mood, Madam Speaker, the mood is that this report be shut down. And therefore, Madam Speaker, call the mover to reply.
Honorable Nerea, you're out of order. Yes, Honorable Jenny.
Madam Speaker, may I call the mover to reply?
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, and the members for the contributions that you've made. From the debate that has taken place, Madam Speaker, it's evidently clear that we always debate without taking our time to go through the report. This report was to be moved on Tuesday in the afternoon, but because of lack of quorum, it was pushed forward. And it's so interesting to find a member saying that the report was just placed in the wall some minutes ago. That simply tells you that we just debate with emotions and not facts. Madam Speaker, there are members who are saying that we made our recommendations and resolutions without even inviting the management team from the Lumumba Hostel. If you go through the chairperson's forward here, Honorable Boyton, the management from the Lumumba facility were invited, and the information that we were giving here were the information that we got from the management of the Lumumba committee. I don't know whether you expected us to call the CC for Public Health and Medical Services so that you be convinced that this interrogation took place. The interrogation took place, and it was between the management of the Lumumba health facility and the members of the implementation committee. Madam Speaker, honorable members have been debating here, but I've not heard anybody debating on the facts that we've laid down. The resolutions that were given by the PICPAC committee. Madam Speaker, I was surprised by Madam Deputy Speaker saying that our resolutions are just the same as the resolutions that were made by the PICPAC committee. We were trying to get them back to the memory line by giving them what the PICPAC committee recommended. And that's why we have that going forward. Those were recommendations by the PICPAC committee and not the implementation committee. If you look at that, we had like 8 issues. I just want to pick on one. That going forward, the management must ensure that the financial statements reflect the true and fair position of the hospital as required by Section 164(3) of the Public Finance Management Act 2012. That was a recommendation which was given by the PICPAC committee. And when we did our interrogation, the response that we were given was that the issues were corrected and the right values imputed, and the trial balance is now balanced. Is that not an achievement from the implementation committee? Honorable member, there's a honorable member who wanted us to bring the trial balance sheet the way it was. That was given by the PICPAC committee. How I wish you had the time to read the PICPAC committee, and you also had the time to read the implementation committee and match them together, not just debating, so that our report can be shut down. How I wish we do this with facts, honorable members. If you look at the issue of staffing, and I want to believe it's in the public domain in Kisumu County, it's not the Department of Public Health, Medical Services and Sanitation that recruits the staff. They're also crying that they are understaffed, and they're urging the House, and that's why the report is being given, that if we can allocate more money for the facility so that they can recruit more staff, then the issue will be solved. And Madam Speaker, we are all here when the budget making process is being done, and there's no one who has ever considered this as an issue so that our health facilities can be staffed adequately. The numbers that were given here, we were given the standard number that is required and the actual staffs that are there in the facility, and they're also crying that they are understaffed, and that is what we are presenting here. I don't know what members wanted us to do as the implementation committee so that they take this report serious. If you look at the land transfer issues, it's also in the public domain in Kisumu County. All our health facilities, majority of them, all our ECDs are in the lands of private owners. The transfers have not taken place, and the county is in the process of doing that. And that's why it was being recommended that the ministry, the Department of Public Health, Medical Services and Sanitation consult with the Department of Lands so that this transfer can take place. And it's so interesting to find the chair of Lands Committee complaining bitterly about transfers of land, and these are the issues that are on their table. They are even handling them right now. Madam Speaker, it's members' right to debate, to debate and make a decision. And my only wish is that how I wish we can make an informed decision from reading the contents of the reports that we are giving and not just waiting for the summary to make a decision. It's upon the House to make a decision, and we will go with the decision of the House. But how I wish that you see the effort that has been put by the implementation committee and pass and adopt this report. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. I make my reply.
Okay, honorable members, and now that the report by the Select Committee on Implementation on the implementation status of House resolutions on the report of PICPAC Committee on its consideration for the Auditor General Report on the financial statement of Lumumba Level 4 Hospital for the year ended 30th of June 2022 has been presented, seconded, and debated. And it's time for me to put a question. And I put that as many of the opinion that this report be adopted say aye. As many of the contrary opinion say nay. And the nays have it. And therefore, and therefore, the report on the implementation of the implementation status of the House resolutions on the report of PICPAC Committee on its consideration of the Auditor General Report on the financial statement of Lumumba Level 4 Hospital for the year ended 30th of June 2024 has been rejected today, the 29th of May 2025 at 15:54 hours. And I direct that this report be brought back to the House by the Committee on Implementation within 30 days. Next order, clerk.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. There is no any other AOB.
And there being no any other business, this House stands adjourned until Tuesday, the 3rd of June 2025 at 2:30 p.m.